Hey, what's up YouTube? What's going on? Back here with a new video today. And in today's new video, what I'm going to be talking about is a problem with the system today in terms of lower back pain and why so many lower back injuries develop and why so many injuries aren't being treated properly or we're not getting the proper rehab programs. So this has been on my mind the past few days and I just wanted to kind of make this video and discuss it with you guys today and get your thoughts as well, but also share a little bit of my personal experience too. So firstly, most of you guys already know and have heard my story, and you guys know that I'm very critical of clinicians, specifically chiropractors, physical therapists, and doctors who can't treat back pain or just have very limited skill sets, and specifically in terms of relation to what I went through, and I just had a very bad experience myself. But with regards to that, I never specifically shared the personal training and coaching side of things in terms of the personal trainers that I worked with too when I was at a younger age, between the ages of 14 and 17 years old. So prior to me getting involved into human kinetics, getting involved into research and the field of strength and conditioning, I was aspiring to be a professional hockey player. So at the time when I was 14 years old, 15 years old, I was hoping to one day play in the National Hockey League. Obviously things didn't work out and now I'm here. But because I had those aspirations and I was playing a high level hockey at the time, and I ended up playing 1 year of junior, I had worked with 5 different personal trainers and coaches between the ages of 14 and 17 years old. And looking back at that experience now, I could say that those trainers and coaches that I worked with did me no benefits whatsoever. When I look back at things, none of them taught me how to squat properly, none of them taught me how to deadlift properly, and rather they were just putting me through a lot of more bodybuilding based workouts when I look back at things. And they were having me do a lot of things like repeated sit-ups, weighted sit-ups, balancing on stability balls, such as standing on stability balls or doing bicep curls on stability balls. And a lot of those things ended up becoming ingrained into my brain because I thought that was the best way to train. And so after I had finished working with all those different trainers, I kind of carried on what I'd learned from them. And then eventually ended up herniating a disc and having arthritis at all my lumbar facets. And so I look back to that experience with those personal trainers and coaches, and it was not a good one because those trainers and coaches that I worked with did me no benefits. And for someone that paid a lot of money, at least my parents did at the time, to work with these trainers and coaches for the purpose of me improving my performance as a hockey player to help me get to that next level, they actually, in my opinion, hindered my performance and made things worse for myself. So I want to specifically talk about these coaches and trainers because this is where the injuries start. It's when we have personal trainers or sport performance coaches or strength coaches that are not prescribing the appropriate exercises or workouts for their clients, for their athletes, or for their individuals. So for example, prescribing sit-ups to a hockey player, I'm very against this. This is just my opinion because I think with the repeated flexion that we see with hockey and in shooting, and also just bending over to tie your skates and always being in a poor posture when you're sitting on the bench. When you combine all that built up stress onto the lower back and then you have someone go do sit-ups, I feel like that creates the perfect storm for one to create a disc herniation. Now, when we have a lot of uneducated trainers or coaches out there, they're the ones that start this storm. And if they're prescribing the wrong exercises or programs, they can not only make that athlete worse, but they could also inhibit their performance and reduce the longevity of their career or even their life possibly if that individual were to go on to sustain a significant injury. And so that's where I feel everything starts, is with the trainers, with the coaches, just being uneducated when it comes to lower back injuries, or this could be any injury for that matter. It just doesn't have to be specifically lower back. But for this video, I'm going to be specifically talking about lower back because that's mainly what my audience watches me for, but also just based on my experience as well. So we have trainers, coaches prescribing the wrong exercises for individuals, which leads to injury. Now, if we were to take things to the opposite side of the spectrum, now let's say we have an injury occurs. Maybe they have a herniated disc, maybe an end plate fracture, maybe some arthritis at the facet joints. Now we go to the rehab specialists, or we go to the rehab side of things, where we're working with doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, and specialists. Now these people, a lot of them, I'm not saying this is for everybody, just like the trainers, it's not for everybody, but this is for the people that aren't skilled in lower back pain. they will then prescribe the wrong exercises, the wrong stretches, the wrong rehab treatment or program for an individual, which often ends up happening. And it's why individuals never get out of back pain, and it's why they continuously get worse, and they end up developing psychological problems, maybe depression, and now they're all on this medication because of improper prescription and an improper program prescribed by the rehab specialists on this side of the spectrum. And then that individual just kind of keeps going through that cycle that is in lower back pain. They wonder why they're not getting worse. And it's a whole system that's connected is all I'm trying to say, is because we take things from this side of the area where it's the personal trainer, strength and conditioning coach, or sport performance coach, and then we take it all the way down to the rehab specialists, and they don't know what they're doing in terms of treating individuals because that's their main primary purpose, is to help get that individual out of back pain. And they don't know what they're doing as well. Now, keep in mind, guys, this isn't for everyone. There are some very skilled clinicians out there and some very skilled coaches out there. I'm specifically a sport performance coach, strength and conditioning coach myself. I'm just kind of talking about the people that don't have that skill set when treating someone. And this is just how the whole system interplays. And it's why lower back pain and why so many people develop lower back pain and they can't get out of it. And as we can see, both sides of the spectrum here are to blame. I just wanted to kind of talk about this in this video because it's a major issue that exists today, and it's something that doesn't get a lot of attention, I feel like, when it comes to specific cases or whatnot. And both sides are ultimately to blame when it comes to this because of a lack of skill set from both sides. And at the end of the day, everything is connected together. So that's all I wanted to say for this video, guys. And I just wanted to kind of share also a little bit of my personal experience working with 5 different trainers between the ages of 14 and 17 years old when I was a hockey player, and having them not being able to teach me proper squats, deadlifts, and just looking back at those things, which I just find is very interesting myself because I had it bad on both sides of the spectrum where I had a lot of trainers and coaches not being able to help me, but a lot of physical therapists, chiropractors, and doctors not being able to help me as well. And that just goes to show how flawed the system is today when it comes to lower back pain. Okay guys, so that's it for this video, and I just wanted to get that off my mind and kind of open up this discussion for you guys and to hear your thoughts and experiences as well and what you guys think of this. So that's it for this video, guys. Be sure to leave a comment if you maybe had this happen to you or if you have any thoughts regarding this video. And with that being said, guys, all the best and have a successful and productive day. Take care.